So I'm Tim Mullholland. I'm MD of a housing development company called Treveth Holdings Limited, that's based in Cornwall. So we were created to try and make a difference in the Cornish housing market in 2018-2019. Specific issues at the time around the quality of housing that was being built, but most importantly, the access to private rented properties for people who lived in Cornwall year round. A real big issue. So the council were looking at an intervention aimed at local people and not turned into Treveth is a company that delivers open market housing. Predominantly, about 50% of all of our units are private rented units. The range are open market sales and 106 affordable. We've delivered about just shy of 390 homes. We've now got 200 private rents under management. We've got over 50 affordable homes under management. We have delivered 4 schemes to date. We're on site on another 4. And hopefully we've made a real impact into local people being able to come back and live in their own communities. I think the more we look at it, it's a new sector that's coming out into the housing market. Everybody understands registered providers, everybody understands the PLCs that deliver open market housing throughout the country. Not one of the companies appears to be the same, but we're all delivering local, micro-local housing in many instances that isn't being delivered by the more traditional sectors that have been around for a long time. The beauty of the network, we share information and it's a learning network, but more importantly, it's about getting the message out that there is a new sector that's coming through in the country that is delivering housing that's different than traditional tenures that are coming through. And it's getting that joined up voice. It's the consolidation of numbers, that's consolidation of ideas across the country. It's not a niche thing in a certain place. It is happening across the country. It's to a wider market, the investment market, the government itself, people interested in place-based development and how we can use communities and reimagine communities through targeting specific local markets that are generally missed or undervalued in other sectors. So it's a wider message that there is an alternative out there at the moment to what we've traditionally over the last 20, 30 years. Recognition, I suppose, is always welcome. With recognition comes support. We definitely need support. To date, most of them were created around 2017, 2018. Most of it created directly by local councils. Most of us are supported financially by local councils. The national economy has changed massively since then. Councils have got less and less spare capital to invest, so we do need assistance from other areas. The governments are becoming aware of us. Homes England are definitely aware of us. The investment market knows nothing about us. So it's that general recognition that will bring more deliverability into the sector. That's the crux of it. We've found that we are actively helping local communities into housing, and we need as much support and as much assistance in increasing the numbers across the country to do that. I think what we do is, some people will say it's traditional. You do open market sales, you do typical affordable. Single family private rents are relatively new in the country. A lot of us are doing that. But I think what we're really doing is making an impact in the communities in which we develop, that we're not that there's anything wrong with a return for the house, but we're actually targeting quite a lot. My own company, you can only occupy one of Treveth's houses if you live, work or have family in the immediate town. So we're quite restrictive in how people access our properties, which can have an impact on viability and value, which tends to scare off more commercial organisations. But what we are doing is addressing an immediate need in that town, and we welcome the support of the wider market in delivering the more general housing. But every town that we deliver in needs that micro-local approach, and I think that's what we bring. I think if you were to ask other colleagues in the housing network, we each find our own little sector. In Cornwall, private rent is a massive issue. In Cornwall's such a big county, it's 100 miles long. You find that people are having to rent 50 miles away from home and losing that family support that is so needed with young children. we're bringing people back into communities that they grew up in and know and have that support. And I think there are instances of that all over the country in different ways, where we are bringing communities back together again where they want to be.